Namaste and welcome, beloveds.
Namaste y bienvenidos, amados poderosos compañeros.
My God, going to God together.
Vamos hacia Dios juntos.
Turn it up a little for Lena here. Okay. Rage. Anybody having any rage?
Rabia.
It's a good
¿Alguno ha
thing.
tenido rabia? Eso es muy bueno.
Oh my gosh. Don't run from it. Okay? Don't run from it. Don't swim inside of it. No swimming.
No corras de ella y no nades, no profundices en ella.
Here's the trick. Here's the trick of rage. You want to know what it is?
¿Saben cuál es el truco? ¿Quieren saber cuál es el truco de la rabia?
Because the world was generated in rage.
Porque el mundo fue generado en rabia.
But what's really awesome for us is that you can look with Jesus below the rage. So don't stay in the feeling of rage. Go to the desire for the experience of rage.
Pero lo bueno es que podemos ir con Jesús y mirar por debajo del sentimiento de rabia, de qué hay debajo de esto.
Okay, it's a call to see what's true.
Es una llamada a ver lo que es la verdad.
It's just a call to look deeply.
Es una llamada a mirar profundamente.
So I just want to say we are having some challenge with our bandwidth because our high-speed service is down, I think. Can you check? Is it still red over there, Mary? Okay.
Dice que está teniendo algunos retos con el tema de la velocidad del internet, porque tienen...
So we're on a lower speed. Okay, we're back. So as you can tell, we may have intermittent service. Look how the beloveds that came to jump a join. Okay, so we're talking about important things here. Rage, woohoo!
Aquí estamos hablando de cosas muy importantes, de la rabia.
Okay, so the point here is not to fall for the ego on this, okay?
Así que el tema aquí es no ir a mirar esto con el ego.
Okay, the point here is to learn to train your mind to jump a join as soon as these strong states come up and be determined, I'm going to see what's true.
Y el reto aquí es cuando tenemos alguna sensación de estas, unirse a un hermano y mirar qué es la verdad. Cuando
And
tenemos
Jesus
esa
is
sensación de rabia.
and he's reminding me, it is not your function. It's not your function to interpret.
Y Jesús me está recordando que no es tu función interpretarla.
It's your function to follow.
Tu función es seguirlo.
Okay, I'm going to turn off high definition streaming. That might help. Okay.
Bueno, está mirando un cambio.
Your function is notice, join with Jesus in a moment of light. That means jump a join with your brother.
Tu función es unirte a un hermano, unirte a Jesús y es unirte a un hermano inmediatamente.
Until you have developed the skill and the comfort with going direct to Jesus.
Hasta que hayas desarrollado la habilidad de ir directamente con Jesús.
Okay? Your job is to go direct to Jesus.
Tu función es ir directamente con Jesús.
That's why he says, join with me in a moment of light.
Por eso es que él dice, únete a mí en un instante de luz.
In a moment of light, that doesn't mean you get to interpret what he's telling you.
En un momento de luz, y eso no quiere decir que tú tengas que interpretar lo que él te está diciendo.
Okay, that means that you ask him everything.
Eso quiere decir que tú le preguntas todo, acerca de todo.
including if rage seems to appear in your awareness. You don't even interpret that. That's not your job. You just go to, okay, Jesus, tell me what's happening.
Incluso si la rabia surge en tu conciencia, no es tu trabajo interpretarla, es ir a Jesús y muéstrame.
You cannot trust your interpretation of anything. That's definitely what I learned.
Definitivamente eso es lo que yo aprendí. No puedes confiar en tu propia interpretación para nada.
Because you're wrong, because we're wrong. He's telling us we're wrong.
Y nos está diciendo que nosotros estamos equivocados. Por eso no podemos interpretar.
See, you have to learn the tricks of the ego so you don't indulge in them.
Entonces tienes que aprender los trucos del ego para no ser indulgente con ellos.
So the ego is going to throw up all kinds of smoke. It's a smoke machine.
El ego va a tratar de lanzar toda clase de humo. Esa es una máquina de humo.
Okay, it loves to throw up all kinds of smoke.
Él disfruta lanzar toda clase de humo.
So it's going to find a way to try and distract. We're doing it to ourselves, but it's going to find a way to try to distract from looking at the truth.
Nos va a tratar de distraer de ver la verdad, porque esto no lo estamos haciendo a nosotros mismos, pero Él nos distrae de esa verdad.
Okay, so you want to remember here this little diagram that I'm showing you. I don't know if it's going to let me show my arrow, but anyway, maybe it'll show it here. I don't know. But just remember that the smoke is at the top and the fire is burning way below.
Nos está mostrando nuevamente esta imagen donde dice que en la parte de arriba está el humo y abajo está lo que lo genera.
So for the Spanish translation, it's going to be the bottom is your decision to deny. You're the one deciding. So you have to pull back your decision.
Entonces, para la traducción en español, tienes que en la parte superior está nuestra decisión.
And then there's
Tenemos que tomar la decisión. Y luego,
and then the next level up is the fuel. The fuel is the desire. It's a hidden wanting of something other than God.
y luego tenemos el deseo, el combustible que hace que es el deseo de algo más diferente a Dios.
And then we attach beliefs to the thoughts going, this is true and here's what it means.
Y luego viene los pensamientos y mira lo que significa esto.
And then the flames are the emotions and that burning rage and all those other things up. See how far away you want to go to the level where it's created. That's what Jesus is telling you to do.
Y luego vienen las emociones, esas llamas, pero tienes que ir al donde Jesús te diga, donde está, donde se genera.
So instead of running from the rage, you want to turn into it.
En lugar de correr de la rabia, tienes que meterte en ella.
Okay, because we made it, so what's it going to do to us? Nothing. But we relish it and run around. Don't run around inside of it. You want to ask Jesus, okay, go under it and see what it's hiding. It's going to hide something really good for you to see.
Y vemos que esto no lo estamos haciendo nosotros, entonces, y ver qué que nos estamos ocultando, por eso necesitamos ir a verlo.
See, that's what the ego does. It sniffs out that, oh, this is rage. This is terrible. I'm going to die. I'm annihilate. Ignore all that. No, I'm going to look. I got my brothers to join with. This is the holiest place on earth where two brothers come together to look.
Y el ego va a decir, mira, no mires, esto va a ser desastroso, pero tú tienes que ver que estás con un hermano y para eso es que está tu hermano para ayudarte a ver.
So you're facing the rage, but you're not experience it. You feel like you're fried by it,
Tú vas a darle la cara
Okay, you're going to go under it. You're going to join with the mighty and go, oh, this is great. We're going to look and see what's there. I'm the only one that goes, oh, let's. Did we lose Maria? Yeah, it's bandwidth. She might not hear us. David,
I'm going to go to the class. So you, at the point about this is you to see that you're a powerful infinite being and you have the power to transcend this, because the whole ego thought system is to feel like you can't do it. I'll
Por
never
eso
get
tienes que
there.
darte cuenta que eres un ser poderoso y el ego va a decir que no, nunca lo vas a lograr.
You are light first. You're infinite being, light, light, light.
Tú eres infinita luz, 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 luz.
Okay, there's nothing going to change that
Nada va a cambiar eso.
except the idea that you know, all those little thought creations in there going, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm hated, nobody loves me, all that.
A menos de que tengamos estos pensamientos de nadie me va a querer, no soy digno, hay algo malo conmigo.
So we're the ones that have the power to jump a join with a brother and go, no, I don't accept this. I'm going to see what's true.
Y eres tú el que tiene el poder de unirte con el hermano y decir, no, no voy a aceptar esto, esto no es verdad.
And that's the only way you start to see how powerful your mind is. It's just go, no, I'm going to look. I'm going to look.
Y ahí es donde te das cuenta cuán poderoso es tu mente y vas a decir, sí, voy a ver a pesar de cualquier cosa.
But the key is that you have to learn to hear that voice so he can get you like a laser beam right exactly to what you need to see. He's the laser pointer.
Porque él, tienes que aprender a escucharlo porque él es el rayo láser que te va a apuntar directamente a lo que tienes que ver.
So he's given the way out. You know, I mean, it's such an invitation, these light circles, to train your mind to listen to what Jesus says. Hear him. What are you telling me, Jesus? What do I have to look at? Have I accepted a miracle? It's so much like a laser beam coming in.
Y precisamente para esto es que son los círculos de luz, para entrenarnos acerca de esto, Jesús, que tengo que ver, para que sea Jesús el rayo que nos muestra lo que tenemos que ver.
So all that smoke, she's so cute. she's got her buddy. Oh, I probably moved that too fast. Here, let me go. There she is over there. She's got it on her phone. She's looking on her phone. Mary, you could do it on your phone too.
Ella está mirando en su celular, están hablando de Lina.
So he and if you practice in the light circles, it's practice hearing so you can get used to hearing him, and then you can get more and more clear on guidance. Guidance is keeping you from indulging in egoic practices.
Y los círculos son donde tú miras y donde estás siendo indulgente con el ego.
Because I can see without him to help me, I wouldn't have seen all the places that I was indulging in the ego.
Porque si no fuera por él, no hubiese visto los lugares donde yo estaba siendo indulgente con el ego.
But you see, the ego loves indulging in hell.
Porque el ego le encanta ser indulgente y le encanta el infierno.
And I keep trying to explain it's got to be 100% in. You have to be 100% in so that there's no spaciousness anymore for the ego to creep in and find its little stronghold.
Tienes que estar 100% adentro porque no puedes dejarle ningún espacio al ego para que pueda hacer ningún un hoyo en él.
So here's the important thing about this.
Miren la cosa importante aquí acerca de esto.
Okay, when you're following him and rage comes up, it's for the purposes of healing.
Cuando lo estamos siguiendo a él y la rabia surge, es para el propósito de ser sanada.
Okay, But if you're not following them, it's not for the purpose of healing. You can have a hard time healing that thing. It's a beast.
Pero si no lo estás siguiendo y surge esto, esto es una bestia que simplemente
Okay.
está surgiendo.
The following is to help you out, you know. You're going to get mad. Don't get me wrong. You're going to get mad when you're following them.
Y no quiero que me malentiendan, pero vamos a molestarnos cuando lo estamos siguiendo.
But whatever he's showing you when you're following him, it's optimized for you to heal that thing and him to show you everything you need to see to release it from your mind.
Y cada vez, pero cuando lo seguimos y nos muestra esto es para que lo liberemos de nuestra mente.
You want to be free, free at last, free at last. Okay.
Tú vas a querer ser libre, libre.
Okay, so I put some quotes out on the, some beautiful quotes about rage. What's a better conversation than rage?
Y he puesto unas citas acerca de la rabia. Y qué mejor que hablemos de la rabia.
Oh my gosh, the ego's mad. Okay, but let me talk about that.
El ego está enloquecido.
It's funny now. It's not funny when you're in the middle of it, but it's funny, you know, you're going to laugh because you see you did it to yourself. Okay.
Esto es divertido a verlo ahora, aunque cuando estamos en medio de ello no es tan divertido, pero te das a dar cuenta que te lo estás haciendo a ti mismo.
You know, the play of consciousness, it's not personal, but we don't know what rage actually is. We're used to like when, you know, smoke goes up and you get really mad and, you know, your ears turn red and that kind of rage.
Nosotros ni siquiera sabemos qué es la rabia. Creemos que la rabia es cuando nos surge esta molestia y que nos sale por los oídos este humo.
But Jesus is telling us direct, telling me direct. Anytime you don't follow, it's rage.
Pero él me está diciendo directo, cada vez que no lo sigues es rabia.
You know, anytime you're not getting a miracle and you're delaying the miracle, that is rage. That's how it plays in the mind.
Cada vez que no aceptas un milagro, eso es rabia, eso es un retraso.
It's a commitment to self-torture.
Es un compromiso con la autotortura.
Okay, so Maria, I don't know if you got these quotes. They
Yes,
were
I have it.
in the
Yeah.
English description, and Lena probably put them in the Spanish description. So we'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Okay, but first we're going to ask this question. You ready? Everybody, hold on to your seatbelt.
Todos
Okay.
amarrarse en los cinturones. Vamos a ir con la primera pregunta.
Jesus, am I holding rage against you? Yes or
Jesús,
no?
¿estoy guardando rabia en contra tuya?
Honesty of God. It's okay. Yes, it's better to know. Might as well.
Sí, si te dice que no está bien, si no, cualquier cosa está bien.
At the center, we call it Dios in polvo. You know what that means?
Eh,
You found God into dust. You can just feel it. You just want to pound God. Pound God into dust. And it's going to come
volver
up.
a Dios, va a volver a Dios polvo. Y eso va a
But don't,
surgir.
okay, but don't live inside of that, right? Just go, okay, the universal solution is given. It's been given you.
Y esto se te está dando a ti para que lo mires.
I can have a miracle instead of this.
Puedo tener un milagro en lugar de esto.
Okay, so here we go. You ready? We were just talking about it. Here's the first quote.
Así que aquí vamos con la primera cita.
Undermining the ego's thought system must be perceived as painful.
Socavar el sistema de pensamientos del ego no puede sino percibirse como un proceso doloroso.
Yes, you feel like you're being fried on a steak.
Sí, tú vas a sentir que está siendo freído en una paila.
All who has felt like they've been fried on a steak, trying to look at what the ego's doing. Who's there?
¿Quién se ha sentido así
Okay.
viendo lo que el ego hace?
But here's the thing, you cannot tell what's actually happening because it's interpretive function. The ego's never going to interpret the good things from the bad things. It doesn't know. So you have to talk to Jesus.
Porque el ego no va a interpretar nada bueno de esto. Por eso tienes que hablar con Jesús.
So it is an interpretive function in consciousness that healing is painful. But you ask Jesus right now for yourself, because you can hear him, Jesus, this need to be painful? Yes or no?
Y en el juego de la conciencia creemos que esto tiene que ser doloroso, pero preguntémosle directamente a Jesús, porque ustedes pueden escuchar a Jesús. Jesús, esto puede ser, esto es doloroso, Jesús.
You know, it's like too late now, but you know, maybe.
Esto
But here's the
quizá
thing,
pueda ser
you'll look back and you won't. You just see you are confused.
tú te vas a dar cuenta que tú estás confundido.
It's funny. Okay. So you can look at, man, and I've said this over and over, but let me tell you, the ego will delay looking at this.
Pero yo lo he dicho una y otra vez, y el ego va a retrasar esto.
Jesus, do I have a desire for an experience for spiritual awakening to be painful? Yes or no? Good to find out.
Jesús, tengo el deseo de que el despertar espiritual sea doloroso. Sería bueno mirarlo.
As soon as I saw that, it's like, man, I'm going to Jesus right away and started working on that desire. Let's clear that one from consciousness. You want to be whistle clean on that.
Y si lo tienes, es bueno mirarlo y limpiarlo para que quede totalmente cristalino.
Look, I mean, people get so mad over this, but I'm saying it anyway. It's not for them, it's for me. It's for the totality of happiness, okay?
Y lo voy a decir, Rebe, porque esto es para mí, para la felicidad total.
Okay? The ego is going to interpret anything that gets close to God is hell, first of all.
El ego, cualquier cosa que sea acercarnos a Dios, lo va a interpretar como el infierno, primero que todo.
And then the ego is going to make it 10,000 times worse when you don't follow them. You see, if you're not following 100%, it's going to be worse.
Y el ego va a hacer que sea peor cuando tú no lo sigues. No,
It's just energy. It's just energy. You got to switch off the interpretation function. Turn off the
y todo es simplemente es energía. Y tú vas a tener que apagar el switch de la interpretación.
A good mantra is, what this is none of my business.
Y un buen mantra es, ¿qué es esto? No es mi asunto.
It's Jesus's, you know, you've got to have the conversation with them. I mean, the beings that tell me you can't hear his voice. Look, that may be good for them, but I'm telling you, asking him everything is just the best. That's all.
Y eso es asunto de Jesús, porque toda esta interpretación va a ser la mejor.
Because I couldn't have seen the number of things he helps you hack off the ego, you know, and chop it, chop, chop, chop.
Y porque muchas veces que él nos va a ayudar a cortar el ego, como cortar.
Okay. It's going to help you put an end to it. That's why ego does not want to follow Jesus, because it likes suffering. It's just...
y él no quiere, por eso es que no quiere seguir a Jesús, porque a él le gusta el sufrimiento, al ego.
So, you know, I said this on a forum that was just going off on this whole thing about horrific and eye of the needle thing. Look, join.
Y vas a tener que ir y mirar este tema de pasar como una aguja por el ojo de...
There is
esa expresión.
There is nothing the ego would rather do than get in a room and compare who had a worse spiritual awakening experience.
Y no hay nada más que disfrute el ego que unirse en un cuarto y mirar quién ha tenido el peor despertar espiritual.
You know, you're not when you transcend that, you're gonna be laughing. It's hilarious. You see that you chose it. Okay, you know, and you forget, like he says, your memory's not gonna be glued on the fact, oh my God, this was horrible, you know, and all that stuff. No,
Y
you're happy.
cuando, cuando tú trasciendes todo eso, no lo vas a, no, no, ni siquiera lo vas a mirar, simplemente tú vas a ser feliz, no vas a estar mirando eso.
Okay, so he's telling us right here, undermining the ego's thought system must be perceived as painful.
Y que él nos está diciendo que el sistema del ego lo va a percibir este proceso doloroso.
Even though this is anything but true.
Aunque no hay nada que esté más lejos de la verdad.
One of my favorite quotes out of the Course in Miracles, even though I love every line.
Esta es una de mis favoritas citas del curso, aunque yo amo cada línea.
Babies scream in rage if you take away a knife or scissors.
Los bebés gritan de rabia cuando se les quita un cuchillo o unas tijeras.
Okay. Although they may well harm themselves if you do not.
A pesar de que si no lo hicieras, podrían lastimarse.
You know, you can try to talk a baby out of going over to an electrical socket and not to stick a pin in there.
Y pueden tratar de hablar con un bebé que quiere meter algo en una
Okay.
corriente, toma de corriente.
But you got to see how much you like putting putting a little pin in that electrical socket and shocking yourself zzz, 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 with everything that's
hay que ver,
unforgiven.
hay que ver cómo queremos meter algo ahí en la toma de corriente y electrocutarnos cada rato.
You know, and to see this, what gets profound, the deeper you go with the looking.
Y mira, esto es profundo, y entre más profundo vamos en el mirar,
He's given a really easy way now to just release that energy gently through desire. Look at the desire, see how much you relish it.
y simplemente es ir y mirar debajo del deseo, ver cuánto disfrutas esto.
But the number of ways the ego can avoid joining, oh my gosh, billions. You got to stick with Jesus. Okay.
Y la cantidad de billones de veces que el ego va a querer evadir la unión es por eso tienes que estar con Jesús.
Okay, so in this sense, you are still a baby.
En este sentido, todavía eres un bebé.
You 100%. I admit 100%. I did not know all the times that I was sticking a pin in an electrical socket and zapping myself.
Y no, yo no me daba cuenta cuántas veces yo estaba metiendo un lápiz en la toma de corriente.
100% we need him to show us. 100%. Not 99.9%.
Necesitamos un 100% de él que nos muestre eso, no un 99.99.
This thing is a beast.
Esta cosa es una bestia.
It is a beast. I'm telling you.
Esto es una bestia.
You don't want any part of that, not one shred, not one twitch. When you get your miracle, go all the way. Don't leave any scraps in there.
Y cuando tú vayas por tu milagro, ve completamente y no dejes ningún residuo ahí.
Here you go. You have no sense of real self-preservation. No, zero. Look at this.
No tienes una idea clara de lo que es el verdadero instinto de conservación. Cero, no tienes nada.
And are likely to decide that you need precisely what would hurt you most.
Y probablemente decidirás que necesitas precisamente lo que más daño te haría.
Okay, now. You see, oh, I know better, Jesus.
Sí, y decimos, sí, Jesús, yo sé mejor que tú.
The number of ways that we can do something that look spiritual while be sticking a pin in an electrical socket is unlimited.
Las veces que creemos que estamos haciendo algo espiritual y que realmente estamos metiendo el dedo en la toma corriente son muchas.
It will look fantastic. It'll look like a course group meeting. It will look like all kinds of things.
Y puede parecer como algo fantástico, como una reunión
Okay.
de grupo.
Is this most helpful for healing the mind, Jesus? That is the only question you want to answer to.
Es la única pregunta que debes hacerte y responderte es, Jesús, ¿esto es lo más útil para la sanación de la mente?
Is this accepting all the love the Father has for me?
Hacer esto es aceptar todo el amor que el Padre tiene para mí.
Meanwhile, we're keeping our finger, you got your little pin stuck in the electrical socket. Go, I think I'll do something else. Thank you very much.
Y nosotros vamos con nuestro pequeño lapicito metiéndolo a la toma corriente y decimos, mira, yo tengo cosas más importantes que hacer.
Do not underestimate how much suffering and shocked an electrical socket is beloved.
No puedes subestimar lo mucho que es amado meter el dedo en tomar corriente.
It really is an all or none deal. I mean, really, 99.9% of, seeing the truth isn't the truth.
Can you say that again?
99.999% of the truth is not the truth.
El 99.99 no es la verdad.
That means there's some part of your mind saying no to God, which is 100% no.
Eso quiere decir que cuando hay una parte de la mente que dice no, es el 99% que está diciendo no.
Well, that's what he showed me for sure.
Eso es lo que él me mostró a mí, de seguro.
The tiniest little no is you're sliding down the slide to hell.
El más pequeño no es estar resbalándonos al infierno.
Okay. Who sees a brother as a body sees him as a fear symbol.
Quien ve a un hermano como un cuerpo lo está viendo como el símbolo del miedo.
This is the most awesome thing about these joinings, because you'll start to transcend the body together.
Esto es lo fabuloso de las uniones, porque comienzas a trascender juntos, en compañía, lo que es el cuerpo.
Right? Because we're so used to using our brother as a defense against the truth. He's turning that around and going, your brother can help you see the truth.
Porque tú siempre estás viendo a tu hermano como el enemigo cuando él te puede ayudar a ver la verdad.
But it's not by sitting next to your brother in a group.
Pero no quiere decir que eso sea sentarte a un hermano en un grupo.
It's joining together in a specific way to learn to tune into the voice and learn to hear it together and then get your miracles together.
Es una forma particular de unirte con tu hermano, mirar y obtener tu milagro.
To look at the denials of love in the mind.
Para mirar las negaciones del amor en la mente.
Oh my God, the brother is the way out. It's the way out. Oh my God.
Dios santo, el hermano es tu camino de salida.
And then it just evolves. Sometimes you'll feel like you want to kill him. You'll see all these things. And then as you just forgive and forgive and forgive, and then you just join, and it's just a reminder of infinite love. Infinite. That's why the ego doesn't want to do these joinings.
Y luego te unes y es el recordatorio del amor infinito. Por eso al ego no le gustan las uniones.
And it definitely does not want to join the ones it's assigned to join with.
Y definitivamente no va a querer unirse con el que tú has sido asignado a unirte.
Oh my God, there's so much love behind this, really.
Hay mucho amor detrás de todo esto.
Like just one thought of talking to Jesus, infinite love.
Solo un pensamiento de hablar con Jesús es infinito amor.
The the listening to the voice just becomes a reminder of Holy Communion. It's like, oh my, infinite in your mind.
La unión es el recordatorio de la Santa Comunión en tu mente.
Your brother comes around to look and reminder of infinite in your mind.
Unirte con tus hermanos es el recordatorio de lo infinito en tu mente.
But you have to be willing to stand into the scrapnel that the ego's going to throw out, all the trash.
Pero tienes que mantenerte cuando el ego vaya a lanzar toda la basura.
And all the ways it's going to sidewind you with distractions, with reasons why you can't join, reasons why you can't follow right now.
Y él va a llegar con muchas razones por qué unirte o por qué no seguirlo ahora mismo.
You know, it's always got some kind of, it's always got a reason. See, God has no reason.
Y él siempre tiene una clase de excusa, de razón, pero Dios no tiene razones.
You know, he didn't go around going, okay, some for you and none for you.
Él no va por esto para ustedes y nada para ustedes.
But we're relishing sticking the pin in the electric socket rather than just walking over and letting them show us that we're wrong.
Pero nosotros disfrutamos meter el lápiz en la toma corriente en lugar de preferir que nos muestre que estamos equivocados.
You know, every line in the Course in Miracles, you're going to see it for yourself. You'll read it and you'll just, it points to infinite. Every line.
Cada línea del curso, tú la lees y nos apunta a lo infinito.
When it's in guidance, when it's a guidance for you to read it.
Cuando está en guía, que tú la leas.
Okay, so who sees a brother as a body sees him as fear's symbol.
Quien ve a un hermano como un cuerpo lo está viendo como el símbolo del miedo.
And he will attack because what he beholds is his own fear external to himself.
Y lo atacará pues lo que contempla es su propio miedo proyectado fuera de sí mismo.
Poised to attack.
¿Listo para atacar?
And howling to unite with him again.
Y pidiendo a gritos volver a unirse a él.
That's no place to be.
Eso es no dejar lugar.
You're looking at your own fear, your brother, we know this, but the ego hides it. Even though we can read it in A Course in Miracles, I could see that. You can't really see it from inside of it.
Tú estás viendo tu propio miedo, pero no lo puedes ver, y el curso lo dice, no lo puedes ver porque tú estás involucrado en este miedo, ahí estás inmerso en el miedo.
It takes a lot of looking. That's the experience I have and others, a lot of looking to get to the point where you start to see that attack, you know, you just poised to attack anything that moves.
Y requiere mucho mirar, ya lo he dicho, para ver cómo queremos atacar todo lo que se mueve.
Mistake not the intensity of rage projected fear must spawn.
No subestimes la intensidad de la furia que puede generar el miedo que has proyectado.
It shrieks in wrath and claws the air in frantic hope it can reach its maker and devour him. Oh, yes.
Chilla de rabia y da zarpazos al aire deseando frenéticamente echarle mano a su hacedor y devorarlo.
Okay, let's have fun with this. Ask Jesus.
Vamos a divertirnos. Preguntémosle a Jesús.
Jesus, would I like to claw God and devour him? Yes or no? If I could.
Jesús.
Would I like to claw and devour God?
Just a moment.
If you look the word.
Can you say that again, please?
Okay, it's the second quote, the last sentence.
Yes.
reach to its
Ok.
maker and devour him. So do I want to devour God?
¿Quiero darle zarpazos a Dios?
In rage, yes or no, Jesus? Honesty of God.
De rabia?
As long as you don't follow 100%, you want to devour God.
Si no lo sigues, pues porque quieres
Either-
darle zarpazo. Hay zarpazo de rabia que quieres darle a Dios.
Which just avoiding to see that you are God, that's all.
Y eso es olvidarnos que nosotros somos Dios.
Yet do we need forgiveness to perceive that this is so? This is a
Sorry.
different quote. This is a different
Okay.
We
Okay.
do. They're different quotes, but they go well together, don't they?
Yeah. Which one is yet do we need forgiveness? Is that one?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yet
Okay.
do we need
No
forgiveness?
obstante,
Yep.
no obstante, necesitamos el perdón para percibir que esto es así.
Okay. Without its kindly light, we grope in darkness, using reason, but to justify our rage and our attack.
Sin su benévola luz, andamos a tientas en la oscuridad, usando la razón únicamente para justificar nuestra furia y nuestro ataque.
So this one's really deep.
Esta
See,
es muy profunda.
because that's why we don't follow, because that we want to keep that attack going. See, it's justifying attack by not following, so I can attack some more.
Por eso es que no queremos seguirlo, porque así podemos justificar el ataque. Podemos justificar el ataque un poquito más.
It's like, excuse me, Jesus, I'm going to come in a little while, but first I have to A, beat up my brother, 2, stick this in the electrical socket a couple more times.
Y es como Jesús, espera. Yo necesito ir y poner a mi hermano en la tomacorriente un par de veces más.
See, the challenge is you can't see the contrast, because in the play of consciousness, it obscures what we're missing out on. See, it just completely obscures that you're.
Tú no puedes ver esto porque está totalmente oscurecido.
We're so used to pleasure and then relishing pain. You can't see the joy, this fountain of joy within.
Y estás tan involucrado en el placer y en el dolor que no puedes ver la fuente de gozo.
So the real question is, at what point do we start honoring ourselves and following 100%? That's the real question.
La pregunta es, ¿estoy honrándome a mí mismo cuando te sigo?
It's got to start now. See, it's not tomorrow. It's now.
Y tiene que comenzar ahora, no mañana.
Our understanding is so limited that what we think we understand is but confusion born of error.
Nuestro entendimiento es tan limitado que aquello que creemos comprender no es más que confusión nacida del error.
We're lost in mists of shifting dreams and fearful thoughts, our eyes shut tight against the light.
Nos encontramos perdidos en las brumas de sueño cambiantes y pensamientos temibles.
Our minds engaged in worshiping what is not there.
Con los ojos herméticamente cerrados para no ver lo que la luz y la mente ocupadas en rendir culto a lo que no está ahí.
Jesus, am I worshiping what's not there? Yes or no?
Jesús, ¿estoy rindiendo culto a lo que no está ahí?
Am I addicted to worshiping what's not there? Yes or no? So,
¿Soy adicto a rendir culto a lo que no está ahí?
you just, but it's the only way you can clear it is when he shows it to you. And then you can go, no, I don't value that anymore.
Y la única forma como lo trascendemos es cuando Él te lo muestra y tú dices, no, ya no lo valoro más.
Somebody texted me today and said, I'm having all these computer kerfuffles.
Alguien me escribió hace unos días y me dijo, he tenido algunos problemas con los computadores.
You know, you might have a kerfuffle all the time, but you ask Jesus.
Y quizá podamos tener un alboroto ahora mismo, dice Jesús.
But
Preguntémosle a Jesús.
he texted me and he said, what desire is under all this?
Y entonces esta persona me escribió y me dijo qué deseo está por debajo de eso.
See, I just go to Jesus. We just go to Jesus and go, what desire is most helpful for healing the mind?
Y entonces fui con Jesús y le pregunté, Jesús, ¿cuál es el deseo más útil para mirar para la sanación de la mente?
And so the Jesus comes back. What I heard was autonomy, so I put it in there.
Y entonces lo que yo escuché de Jesús era autonomía. Yo escribí eso.
And he's gone, well, what does this have to do with computer problems? I don't have to know, because he doesn't have to know, because Jesus says, and then you just look. That's the power of hearing Jesus.
Entonces esta persona dijo, pero ¿qué tiene que ver esto con los problemas de los computadores? Y no, simplemente no tiene, es escuchar a Jesús y dirigirnos a Jesús y escucharlo.
Okay, I am never upset for the reason I think.
Nunca estoy disgustado por la razón que creo.
You know, sometimes I'll have like all afternoon, couldn't get the sound to work. Now we don't have why we don't have high-speed internet. Well, I'll just ask Jesus, is there something for me to look at? No. Do I keep going? Yes. Then you keep going, it makes it simple.
Entonces, por ejemplo, nosotros estuvimos toda la tarde mirando el tema del internet y el internet no logramos conectarnos al internet de banda ancha. Y es tan simple, le pregunto a Jesús, ¿tengo que mirar algo aquí? Me dice, no, sigues derecho y ya. Es así de simple.
If something comes up, you handle it, but otherwise you can just sit in a little rocket ship of joy.
Y algunas cosas hay que mirarlas y otras simplemente te sientas en el cohete del gozo.
Call it the joy glow, whatever. I'm not even sure, but you're just unfazed.
O el globo del gozo, llámalo como quieras, pero es simplemente mirarlo.
Every sentence in this book is true, every single one of them.
Cada palabra de este libro es verdad, cada una.
It is a play-by-play guidebook for anyone who wants to transcend pain and suffering in this world. It's just, that's it.
Y esto se requiere para todos los que quieran trascender el dolor en este mundo.
The recognition of light is simple and anyone can do it. Oh, the holy instant. Okay.
Y el reconocimiento de la luz es muy simple y todos lo pueden hacer. Eso es el instante santo.
The challenge is the addiction to sticking that pin in the electrical socket and saying, this is a good deal.
Pero el tema es la adicción que tenemos a meter el lápiz en el tomacorrientes. Es una adicción.
Anyone who would commit themselves to him 100% following, 100% relative to the eons, it's not going to take you 30 years to do the course. I'll tell you, if you follow him 100%.
Y la única forma como de ahorrar tiempo es seguirlo al 100%. Así vamos a evitar eones de años. Eones.
There are a lot. It's a big fat book, right? There are at least 500 of these desires in here, beliefs.
Y por eso necesitamos este gordo libro. Y aquí hay más o menos 500 creencias.
But the greatest challenge is wanting to talk about the course and have the course be intellectual rather than actually go down in the mind and be coached by Jesus directly. Here's what you need to look at, which he will do.
Y el reto es ir y mirar directamente con Jesús para que Él nos muestre y Él lo hará.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff to see.
Sí, hay mucho por ver.
There is a lot to see.
Hay mucho por ver.
We made it up. We can't get mad at Jesus about it.
Nosotros lo hicimos, así que no nos podemos molestar con Jesús.
Even though I got mad at him a lot. Then I saw, well, there's not really, no, I can only just let him lead me out of delusion.
Y aún así nos molestemos, pero vemos que él nos va a ayudar a salir de la ilusión, del engaño.
But A Course in Miracles is not about quoting course quotes.
Pero el curso de milagros no se trata de citar citas del curso, frases del curso.
It is not about talking about the course.
No se trata de hablar acerca del curso.
It is about developing a relationship with Jesus so you can ask him and he can show you that every line is true.
Es desarrollar una relación con Jesús y ver que Él te muestre que cada línea es verdad.
So he can help you have a direct experience that every line in this book is true. That's what the book's for.
Y así Él te puede mostrar que cada línea del curso es cierta. Para eso es que es el curso.
And the greatest challenge for course teachers is they're unwilling to give up their idea of being a teacher. You got to be a learner.
Y el gran reto para los profesores es que dejen de ser profesores, tienen que ser aprendices.
The happiest place in this world, well, he says it, is to be in happy, continual learner mode with him.
Y el lugar más feliz en este mundo es tener un constante aprendizaje con Él.
Where you're talking to him all day going, what about this, Jesus? What about that, Jesus? What about this? That's what your birthright is that. If anybody tells you anything else, no.
Ese va a ser tu nacimiento, donde cada vez te diriges a Él y le preguntas a Jesús, ¿qué acerca de esto? ¿Qué acerca de lo otro?
Is this a voice that speaks to me?
Es esa voz hablándome.
The voice for God speaks to me, you throughout the day. A voice for God. Voice.
La voz de Dios me habla durante todo el día. La voz de Dios.
He wrote the book. Talk to him.
Él escribió el libro. Hablen con él.
Okay. And there are beings who said, oh, I don't think I can hear Jesus. And then they join the light circles and you just got to give yourself, you're determined to hear him. You can hear him.
Y si ustedes están determinados a escucharlo a él, lo van a escuchar.
The biggest thing to challenge is, and we know this, is not wanting to talk to him.
Y el gran reto es que nosotros no queremos hablar con él.
The idea that the ego throws out, he's going to make me do something I don't want to do.
Lo que el ego lanza es, me van a hacer algo que yo no quiero hacer.
No, he's trying to show you something you don't want to see.
No, él te está solo mostrando algo que tú no quieres ver.
That's all.
Eso es todo.
You got it's just 100% in. That's all there is to it. It's 100%. Whatever you say, yes, sir.
Y esto requiere estar involucrado 100%. Y si él dice algo, tú dices, sí, señor.
Okay, here you go. Fear is always a sign of strain.
El miedo es siempre un signo de tensión.
Arising whenever what you want conflicts with what you do.
Que surge cuando hay conflicto entre lo que deseas y lo que haces.
This situation arises in two ways.
Esta situación se presenta de dos maneras.
First, you can choose to do conflicting things either simultaneously or successively.
Primera, puedes elegir hacer cosas conflictivas, ya sea simultáneamente o sucesivamente.
After a while, you see how exhausting. This is just nutcase doing this.
Y luego de un tiempo te vas a dar cuenta de lo exhausto que es esto.
Okay. This produces conflicted behavior, which is intolerable to use because part of the mind that wants to do something else, it's outraged.
Esto da lugar a un comportamiento conflictivo, lo cual te resulta intolerable porque la parte de la mente que quieres hacer otra cosa, se enfurece.
We're fighting to hear Jesus. Look, it is relaxing to ask him and not, you get so happy not making any, what do I do here? Okay, good. Do I hit the button? No. Okay, good. It gets relaxing.
Se vuelve relajante escuchar a Jesús y seguir lo que Él nos dice.
All right. Second, you can behave as you think you should, but without entirely wanting to do so. Oh, that's a rage machine.
Segunda, puedes comportarte de acuerdo a como crees que debes, más sin querer hacerlo realmente. Y esto es una máquina de rabia.
This produces consistent behavior, but entails great strain.
Esto da lugar a un comportamiento congruente, pero conlleva gran tensión.
Okay. It is not about our whole world, the world of doer and behavior. If I do this, I'll be happy. Oh my God.
Este mundo es un mundo de hacer. Si yo hago esto, voy a ser feliz.
I mean, this whole thing is a machine of constant grinding against itself.
Esto es completamente una máquina de rabia en contra de nosotros mismos.
It's like horrific, and we call it sunshine. It's just.
Y nosotros lo llamamos el amanecer.
When you hang on to his feet, when the
Cuando nos
miracle
ponemos en
becomes,
sus pies, cuando el milagro se convierte.
Anybody who can read this and not realize he's the only way out, we're just grinding ourselves on a grindstone with what we think we can do or how we can behave. It's horrible.
Y creemos que nosotros sabemos cómo debemos comportarnos, pero esto va a ser terrible porque no lo sabemos.
In both cases, the mind and the behavior are out of accord.
En ambos casos, la mente y el comportamiento están en desacuerdo.
Resulting in a situation which you're doing what you do not wholly want to do.
Lo cual da lugar a una situación en la que estás haciendo algo que realmente no quieres hacer.
And let me see what he says. This arouses a sense of coercion that usually produces rage, and projection is likely to follow.
Esto suscita una sensación de coerción que normalmente produce furia y es muy probable que también dé lugar a proyecciones.
Whenever there is fear, it is because you have not made up your mind. Oh, that's so true.
Siempre que tienes miedo es porque aún estás indeciso.
Your mind is therefore split, and your behavior inevitably becomes erratic.
Tu mente se encuentra por lo tanto dividida y tu comportamiento inevitablemente se vuelve errático.
Correcting at the behavioral level can shift the error from first to second type, but will not obliterate the fear.
La corrección a nivel de comportamiento puede cambiar el error del primer tipo al segundo, mas no elimina el miedo.
First of all, it's trying to find some kind of solution and relief through behavior, which will never get it through that.
Y va a tratar de buscar un alivio a través del comportamiento y no se va a obtener con eso.
Behaviors arise out of beliefs.
Porque surge de nuestras creencias.
Okay. Beliefs arise out of the meaning you put on the beliefs.
Y las creencias surgen de lo que estamos poniendo en estas creencias.
The behavior comes out of the meaning. It's a little loop. And
What? Okay.
Well, the behavior's rising out of the meaning that in the beliefs, see, and then we behave based on what we believe to be
Nosotros
true.
nos comportamos de acuerdo a nuestras creencias, dice.
But all of that smoke arises out of the desire for some experience.
Pero todo este humo en verdad surge del deseo de la experiencia.
And so the miracle occurs at the level of desire, which takes the legs out from underneath all the beliefs, all the meaning. It just cuts it off.
Pero el milagro se da al nivel del deseo, que está debajo de las creencias.
So every time you're following, he's helping you cut off these loops and gallywags and things that are happening where you're trying to get something through behavior that you can never get other than aggravate
Y-
yourself.
Y cada vez que tú lo sigues, él te está ayudando a romper estos ciclos donde crees que tú sanas a través del comportamiento.
And then getting that miracle, which will take out the desire for all these experiences that are being driven, all these behaviors that are impossible to ever find love in.
Te va a ayudar a obtener milagros para todos estos deseos que están manejando tu vida.
Behavior will never get you heaven. That's what the belief is. If I behave in a certain way, I will get heaven.
El comportamiento nunca te va a dar el cielo. Esa es la creencia, que si me comporto de cierta manera voy a obtener el cielo.
If I do something, I will get heaven.
Si yo hago algo, voy a obtener el cielo.
You are heaven.
Tú eres el cielo.
You know, so he's got to break all these habits of behavior, that's the way to do it. And that's why you have to do what he tells you to do, so he can break the habit of you trying to get salvation through behavior.
Y esta es la forma haciéndolo como él nos diga que lo hagamos para romper la creencia de que obtenemos el cielo a través de los comportamientos.
When the desire goes, the energetic relishing goes, it's not supported anymore. When you fully release the desires that he shows you through miracles, you're not going to behave in the same way. You can't, because it all rises up out of that desire for an experience.
Y cuando se libere el deseo, no vas a tener estos patrones repitiéndose.
Yes, you may walk out the door. You may do some of the same things that you've always done, but your mind won't be trapped inside of those, trying to find love through like a pinball machine going, if I act like this, if I act like that, if I do this, if I do that, I can win love.
Y entonces vamos a parar esto de que esta máquina de ping pong, de si hago esto voy a obtener amor.
Oh, okay. So this will be the last one. False healing.
Esta va a ser la última. Entonces dice,
Only false healing can give way to fear.
solo la falsa curación puede dar lugar al miedo.
So sickness will be free to strike again.
Y así la enfermedad es libre para arremeter de nuevo.
This is another fantastic reason to speak to Jesus.
Esta es otra fantástica idea por qué hablar con Jesús.
Because you can get to ask him, Jesus, is the healing complete? Did I fully accept the miracle?
Porque le tenemos que preguntar a Jesús, ¿es la sanación, se ha dado, la he aceptado completamente el milagro?
Did I get the true healing? Did I fully accept the true healing? So helpful.
¿He aceptado la completa sanación?
Okay, now here's the trick in consciousness.
Miren aquí el truco de la conciencia.
I've talked about this too. False healing can indeed remove a form of pain and sickness.
La falsa curación puede, en efecto, eliminar ciertas formas de enfermedad y dolor.
The symptoms will kind of go away. They go like whack-a-mole underground, and then they sneak around and they come up and bite you.
Y nosotros vamos a creer que la enfermedad se fue y nos vamos a revolcar y estar felices y luego va a volver a surgir.
Just got to check. Starting to go low on battery. Are we charging yet?
Está
No.
verificando la batería del celular.
Can you hand me your charger? Thank you. Gracias. We could go off at any minute too, on and not only speaking. Oh, it clicked. Oh, good. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Mary. We're holding it together, stitched together. Okay, so this is what's great about the coaching. This is also, I keep telling you, you have to take what he showed me is to let him guide me, right? In the release all the way to the miracle. And is it 100% done?
Y por eso es que requerimos que el entrenamiento directamente de él para ver e ir profundamente con él y mirar cuando realmente el milagro ya está hecho.
Okay. And then is there anything else for me to see so that I'm 100% sure that it all gets cleared from the mind?
Y luego preguntar, ¿hay algo, todo está visto? ¿Hay algo más que ver? Para que esté todo limpiado o clarificado en la mente.
But we don't see that it's a two-part plan. You can look, but you won't have the trust to go all the way with it without following him. So you have to follow him because that's going to help take the legs out from underneath these desires.
Pero este es un plan de dos partes. Uno es mirar los deseos y lo otro es seguir, porque con el seguir nos va a mostrar qué hay debajo de estos deseos.
I can see that through the following, he showed me where I was valuing the valueless.
A través del seguir, él me mostró dónde estaba valorando lo que no tiene valor.
And then when there was no value whatsoever in any desire. See, I had no value in it. Then he could take me quickly all the way till it was gone. Boom.
Y cuando me di cuenta que no había valor, fue la forma como él me llevó profundamente y me mostró todo.
But without that experience with him constantly working, there's still this value. And so these little dribs and drabs of these little desires are going to hang you. You just, I can just see it because beings are like going for months with some of these things. You don't have to do it. But if you value some part of it, you can't get a miracle on something that you value.
No es fácil que obtengas un milagro con algo que tú valores y por eso es que para algunos seres les toma tiempo hacer esto, les puede tomar meses porque aún valoran algo en estos deseos.
I mean, you can get some realizations and some releases, but you want the penetrating, you want that desire to be not a scrap of it left in your mind.
Y quizás sí tengas algunas realizaciones, unos momentos donde te des cuenta de cosas, pero no vas a tener limpia completamente tu mente.
Not an ooch, not a twitch.
Ninguna residuo, ninguna molestia.
Desirelessness is nirvana. Buddha's not kidding.
El Buda no estaba bromeando cuando dijo que no tener deseos es el nirvana.
Because you don't need, what need does an infinite being that has everything, why would it desire something unless it wants to suffer?
¿Qué va a querer un ser que es infinito? ¿Qué deseo va a querer a menos de que quiera sufrir?
Okay, Jesus, so rage. So turn into it. Join with your
rabias. Así que cuando hay rabia, únete con un hermano.
And actually, I'm asking him, it just takes a lot of, because he knows, it takes a lot of looking to really get your mind cracked open enough to start allowing these, in a way, it's like, I've been working on this, what the heck? But it's at the right timing, if you're following him, it will come out, but you hang on to him and he's going to get you through it.
Y entonces, okay, I lost the idea, sorry. Can you give me shorter sentences?
You just have to hang on to Jesus when these things come up.
Tú tienes que agarrarte de Jesús cuando surjan estas cosas.
Okay? Because you'll be looking a lot and you go, what happened? All of a sudden, I feel like I'm in a firestorm.
Y tú vas a decir, uff, porque estoy mirando tanto y siento que estoy como en una tormenta de fuego.
And part of that is that you don't yet see that your mind is powerful enough to say no to that and get your miracle with Jesus. It's so much split mind under there.
Y eso quiere decir que tu mente está muy dividida, donde no te sientes suficientemente poderoso para decirle no a la mente.
But the more following you do and the more miracles, you just start to see it's always within your power to get a miracle. And then you just get very miracle minded. I'm not putting up with this. I asked him, Jesus, I have to put up with this. He says no. And it's like, I'm not putting-
Y así vas a lograr tener una mentalidad milagrosa y le vas preguntando, y si hay cosas que no tienes que hacer, le preguntas a Jesús.
happiness. Okay. So we'll come back to the mighties and see if there are any questions. We'll see how my phone does for time. But
Bueno,
yeah,
vamos a ir a los compañeros a ver si hay alguna pregunta, digamos el tiempo de mi celular.
if any of the beloveds are hearing from Jesus to ask a question or yeah, whatever comes, it's so much love. There's just so much love.
Y cualquier cosa que surja de los compañeros, hay tanto amor en esto.
Like,
A mí me gustaría preguntar,
I would like to ask.
okay. Thank
hace
you.
soy Elvia,
Sí, dinos, Silvia.
hace una semana tuve también una gran reacción de mucho enojo. Y
Esta semana, la semana pasada dijiste, ¿cierto?
la semana pasada,
Last week I have a reaction, a rage reaction.
y tiene mucho que ver con mi hija en el sentido de que yo veo que es muy necia.
And it's because of my daughter, because I think she's stubborn.
Y llevándolo con mi compañera poderosa para ver esto, quería
And we look
preguntar,
this with my married companion.
me enfoqué en que no quería ver sobre mí de ser yo misma necia, ¿no?
And we asked what I have to see here, because I know that this is my stubborn, also my stubborn.
Y en la unión, lo que salió es que quiero seguir teniendo el control.
And what Jesus showed us that is that we want to have control, to keep control.
Y que esa guía que mi propia hija no quiere seguir,
And the same guidance that my daughter doesn't want to follow,
es que yo no lo quiero seguir a él.
and it's the same that I don't want to follow Jesus.
So good. That's beautiful.
Eso es hermoso.
Y me queda la duda,
However, I have a doubt.
Precisamente es un nuevo deseo en que se convierte de por qué no lo quiero seguir, ¿no?
¿Puedes repetirlo, que no te escuché?
Que de alguna forma se genera un nuevo deseo de que está muy debajo de por qué no lo quiero seguir.
And under this, I want to see maybe the desire why I don't to follow him. Is why I don't have to follow him.
Y entonces preguntar qué sugiere Kay para ir más profundo en esto.
So she's asking, what do you suggest, Kay, to go deeper with this? What do you
Well,
hear?
a couple of things. Join with the mighty and ask Jesus to tell you all the reasons why you don't think it's a good idea to follow him.
Entonces, únete con un compañero, con tu compañero poderoso y pregúntale a Jesús cuáles son todas las razones por las cuales no quieres seguirlo.
And Jesus will tell you.
Y Jesús te lo va a decir.
And I also hear that you also, not you, it's not personal, but in the play of consciousness, there's a desire also to feel out of control.
Y también escucho el deseo de fuera de control, no tú como persona, sino en general, el juego de la conciencia, el deseo de fuera de control.
And the secondary gain I'm hearing, like underneath that,
Y
and you
lo que
can talk,
escucho del juego secundario debajo de esto,
so check in on this one and see what you hear. But I hear that you might think that out of control is love. Ask Jesus.
y lo que escucho es que tú crees que el fuera de control es amor. Pregúntale a Jesús.
Sí, escucho que sí.
I hear yes.
See, if we think that trying to be in control is love and out of control is love, that's a really, you know, we're not going to let Jesus move in on that.
Si nosotros creemos que estar fuera de control y estar en control vamos a obtener amor, no vamos a dejar espacio para que entre Jesús.
See, because it's Christ control.
Porque real es el control de Cristo.
So there's a couple of things there with that. One is you have to say no to the ego sometimes. You just do and say, no, I'm not doing that. It's important to me.
Y tienes que llegar a un punto donde le digas no al ego y donde digas esto es importante para mí.
And then the other thing you're really doing now, which is very beautiful, is you're joining to look. Let's see what's under this. And as you release those desires, you deepen your relationship with Jesus.
Y lo hermoso también es que tú te unes a mirar, porque así estás yendo profundo en la relación con Jesús.
All it means by not following him is that we're keeping some part of our mind protected.
Porque no seguirlo es querer mantener parte de nuestra mente protegida.
It's protecting us from, you know, protecting us from seeing the truth of who we are.
Es protegernos a nosotros de ver de quiénes somos.
So you can talk to him about false values. She can show you where in your mind you're investing in the false value that you can get love from being in control and out of control. Can that ever get you the love of God?
Por eso tú tienes que ir profundo y mirar dónde está el falso valor que crees que estar en control o fuera de control te da amor.
See, Jesus doesn't make us do anything. He just shows us where we're valuing the wrong thing.
Jesús no nos hace hacer algo, simplemente nos muestra dónde estamos valorando las cosas erradas.
You know, all he can do is point out where we're acting insane. That's it.
Solo Él nos puede estar apuntando dónde estamos actuando locamente, como locos.
So it's beautiful that you're fostering the relationship with him. That's what you want to do, is just see as he's your best friend looking over your shoulder.
Y lo hermoso de ver que estás construyendo esta relación con Él, porque que puedes ir con Él hombro a hombro.
And then ask him to tell you why you're afraid of him.
Y preguntarle a Él, ¿por qué tienes miedo tú de Él?
Do you hear when you ask him? Does he tell you that you're afraid of him?
¿Tú has preguntado, Él te ha dicho, por qué tienes miedo de Él?
No, no he hecho la pregunta, pero cuando Kay dio la sesión donde tenemos cambiado el cielo con el infierno, creo que está muy relacionado a eso.
I haven't asked that question to Jesus, but when Kay in last chat, she talks about heaven and hell flip. I think you were that was your focus.
Yes. So why don't you ask him for all of us? Everybody's going to ask Jesus, and you can ask him, Jesus, is there some part of myself that's afraid of you? Yes or no?
Todos vamos a preguntar, Jesús, ¿hay una parte de mí que tiene miedo de ti, Jesús? ¿Sí o no?
Okay. Was that a C?
Sí.
Yeah.
Eso fue un sí.
Well, thank you for honesty of God. There's probably a couple other folks too that might be having this as well. A little bit of fear of Jesus. All in favor of being afraid of Jesus? No.
Y sí,
Yeah.
quizá es bueno mirar eso porque parece que tenemos este deseo de tener miedo a Jesús.
But Jesus, will you help me overcome this sea and see I have no basis for this? Will you help me?
Jesús, ¿me ayudarías a sobrepasar esto y darme cuenta que no hay base para este miedo? ¿Me ayudarías?
Sí.
And
Yes,
that's precious.
eso
The
es
question,
precioso.
the question is, are we all willing to give him the opportunity to do that?
La pregunta es para todos. ¿Estamos dispuestos a darle la oportunidad de que haga eso, que nos muestre?
Because the only way for us not to follow him is to believe he's bringing us into hell.
Porque la única forma que no lo seguimos es porque creemos que Él nos está trayendo el infierno.
Rather than showing us we're wrong about everything, that all God gave us is love.
En lugar de permitirle que nos muestre que equivocados estamos y que nos muestre todo el amor del Padre.
But you are willing to find this out, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be joining.
Pero yo sé que tú estás dispuesta a ver esto porque si no, no te estarías uniendo.
So we have a saying here at the center. It's called one miracle at a time.
Y nosotros tenemos esto aquí en el centro, un milagro a la vez.
One miracle at a time. And what's most helpful to heal my mind, Jesus?
Un milagro a la vez. ¿Y qué es lo útil para ver Jesús?
And just give him the opportunity to show you you're wrong. That's all. Am I willing to give you the opportunity to see I'm wrong about this, Jesus? I don't need to be afraid.
Jesús, estoy dispuesto a darte la oportunidad de que me muestres que estoy equivocado y que no tiene sentido tenerte miedo.
The only thing you're going to find out from Jesus
La única forma como tú puedes ver esto con Jesús
is how ridiculously happy God made you.
es ver cuán ridículamente feliz te hace Dios.
That's it. Period.
Eso. Eso es todo y punto.
But as long as we're willing to say, I must be mistaken. I must be
Cuando, cuando decimos, quizá estoy equivocada.
So that's the question. Are you willing to be wrong, that there's something to fear about Jesus?
La pregunta es, Jesús, ¿estoy dispuesto a estar equivocado con relación al miedo que te tengo a ti, Jesús?
Sí. Sí.
That's everything.
Eso es todo.
That
Eso
is everything.
es todo.
A little bit of opportunity just to call him over and get a little cuddle. That's it.
Es darle una pequeña oportunidad y él va a venir y abrazarnos. Darle un pequeño abrazo.
Do you know that's the most amazing thing about the Voice for God?
Y saben qué es la cosa más hermosa es asombrosa de hablar de la voz de Dios.
when you've heard that voice and followed that voice enough where you just realize that that is a song of God that sings within you.
Y ver que esta voz es la canción del amor que Dios nos canta a nosotros.
That's why the ego avoids that, because it doesn't want to hear the song of God within.
Y eso es lo que el ego quiere evitar, esa canción que nos es cantada en el interior.
But it's always, whenever there's fear, we're looking from the ego's view out rather than from the holy instant view above the battlefield. You know, when you look down with Jesus on above there and look down, you see that it's nothing.
Pero eso no se ve cuando lo miras con el ego, pero lo ves cuando miras desde arriba, desde fuera del campo de batalla con Jesús, fuera de la burbuja.
He's not kidding. He's with us till the end of time.
Y Él no está bromeando, Él va a estar con nosotros hasta el final del tiempo.
He's friendly. See how friendly he looks?
¿Se ven lo amistoso que Él es?
But he is straight talking Jesus. But you'll see, he's straight talking Jesus. You want the straight talking Jesus.
Lo vas a ver porque tú quieres un diálogo directo con Jesús.
You do, because the way I know that, well, he tells me, but because you're joining and you really do want the truth. That's beautiful.
Yo lo sé porque Él me está diciendo que es así y también porque te estás uniendo y eso es hermoso.
It's very beautiful. I hear the call of your heart is to know that you're loved by God. How beautiful.
Y escucho que el llamado de tu corazón es ver todo el amor del Padre. Qué hermoso es eso.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Eso es hermoso. Gracias.
Gracias, Kay. Gracias, María.
Love you. That was beautiful. You see how your questions are so holy.
¿Sí te das cuenta lo santas que son tus preguntas?
Does anyone else have a question?
¿Hay alguien más que quiera hacer una pregunta?
Okay, I have to scroll just to make sure. I can't always see everybody here.
Tengo que mirar para ver que los pueda ver a todos.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful, Annie. I'm glad to have you jump on with us. He's got a little
Eh,
Jesus.
Mira, está mostrando una imagen de Jesús.
Well, we love you, beloved. Keep joining.
Los amamos, sigan, manténganse uniendo.
This is why he gave us for each other to hold our hands and walk into heaven together.
Eso es donde debemos ir cogidos de la mano y caminar juntos hacia el cielo.
So love you all.
Los amamos a todos.
Bendiciones.
Gracias. Buenas noches.
Bye,
Gracias.
beloved. Okay. Gracias, Jesus. Adios. Adios.